Most people think discipline is about forcing yourself to do hard things. Waking up early, grinding when you feel tired, saying no to comfort again and again. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people never hear. Discipline doesn't fail because people are weak. Discipline fails because the system itself is broken. If discipline really worked the way we are taught, then motivation wouldn't disappear after a few days. Habits wouldn't collapse after one bad week, and self-control wouldn't feel like a constant battle. Yet for most people, discipline always breaks. And it breaks quietly. Not in a dramatic moment, but slowly, when effort becomes heavy and resistance grows. In this video, I want to show you why discipline fails for most people. And more importantly, the Japanese method that was designed to never break, even when motivation is gone. Before we go deeper, if content like this helps you think clearer, act stronger, and build real inner control, take a second to like this video and subscribe to Samurai Mind Forge. It tells the algorithm this message matters, and it helps this channel reach people who need it most. And now let's continue. In the modern world, discipline is treated like a muscle you're supposed to flex non-stop. Push harder. Try again. Be stronger tomorrow. But the human mind doesn't work that way. Every act of forced discipline drains energy. Every time you rely on willpower alone, you borrow strength from tomorrow. That's why people start strong and fade fast. The problem isn't laziness. The problem is friction. Every habit that depends on motivation will eventually fail, because motivation is emotional, unstable, and unreliable. Japanese culture understood this centuries ago. They didn't build discipline on emotion. They built it on structure, on identity, on systems so simple they removed the need for constant decision-making. Samurai were not disciplined because they tried harder than everyone else. They were disciplined because their life removed unnecessary choices. Their environment shaped behavior automatically. There is a Japanese principle that explains this perfectly, even though it's rarely talked about directly. It's the idea that you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system. Samurai did not wake up asking, "Do I feel like training today?" Training was not optional. Not because of punishment, but because it was part of who they were. Identity came first. Action followed naturally. Modern discipline fails because people start with action instead of identity. They say, "I will work out. I will focus. I will wake up early." But they never change how they see themselves. The Japanese method flips this completely. You don't force behavior. You install it. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation. You don't need discipline. You don't even think about it. Why? Because it's embedded. It's automatic. The Japanese approach treats discipline the same way. Not as effort, but as default behavior. Another key reason discipline fails is because people aim too big, too fast. The Japanese philosophy of Kaizen teaches the opposite. Small improvements done consistently outperform massive effort done briefly. One push-up a day beats 10 workouts you quit after a week. 5 minutes of focus beats 2 hours you avoid. The mind resists large change, but it accepts small shifts easily. This is why the Japanese method never breaks. It doesn't shock the system. It flows with it. Instead of asking, "How disciplined can I be?" it asks, "How little resistance can I create?" When resistance is low, consistency becomes natural. Samurai also practiced something deeper than habits. They trained mental stillness. There is a concept called fudoshin, an unshakable mind. A mind that does not react emotionally to discomfort. Modern discipline relies on emotion. Japanese discipline ignores emotion entirely. You act regardless of how you feel, not by force, but by calm acceptance. This is where most people misunderstand discipline. They think discipline is fighting yourself. In reality, discipline is removing the fight. When action feels normal, there is no struggle. When struggle disappears, consistency remains. Another reason discipline collapses is perfectionism. Miss one day, and people quit. The Japanese mindset never aimed for perfection. It aimed for continuity. Falling was expected. Returning was mandatory. One bad day didn't mean failure. It meant adjustment. At Samurai Mind Forge, this is one of the core ideas we focus on. You don't need extreme motivation. You need quiet consistency. You need systems that work even on your worst days. The Japanese method also removes ego from discipline. Ego wants fast results, recognition, and intensity. Discipline wants patience. Samurai trained for decades without applause. Modern people quit in weeks because no one is watching. When you remove the need for validation, discipline becomes private and therefore stronger. Another powerful Japanese idea is ichiko ichi, the understanding that this moment will never come again. When applied to discipline, it changes everything. You don't think about the future or past. You simply do what must be done now, once, fully. No pressure. No drama. This is why Japanese discipline feels calm, not aggressive. It doesn't shout. It doesn't rush. It doesn't burn out. It moves forward quietly, day after day. If you've struggled with discipline, understand this clearly. You are not broken. You are just taught the wrong system. Discipline is not about being hard on yourself. It's about being intelligent with yourself. As this video comes to an end, ask yourself one honest question. Where am I relying on motivation instead of structure? Where am I forcing instead of simplifying? Change that, and discipline will stop feeling like a battle. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. I want to hear what discipline means to you right now. Share this video with someone who keeps blaming themselves for quitting, because this might change how they see everything. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Samurai Mind Forge for more content rooted in timeless Japanese philosophy, mental strength, and quiet power. Discipline doesn't fail. The method does. Choose the one that never breaks.